Afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. Tis the 6th of June. Wow, not far off the middle of the year. Aren't the months and weeks going quick? They're flying. Okay, who we got in this morning? Indy, good morning. Jay, good morning. Rodian, good morning to you, my friend. JP, good morning. How you doing? What? Hope everyone's doing okay. So, not a lot happening this morning. Pretty much just sideways within about 10 points, I think. From top to bottom, I think, more or less. Let's have a look. Yeah, I suppose from the wicks, I suppose it's an average in 10 points from top to bottom. How you doing, Brick? How you doing, bud? Let me just resync my lag. There we go. Brilliant. Okay, so there is some strong buy orders at 42.74, which is down here. So I'm guessing if for me that will be that if price gets down here, we're going to buy. So if we do manage to touch this and push up nice and solidly, I can't see anything else. It's clearly ranging. I mean, you could say we got that leg and a couple of times higher and another leg down there. I mean, it could be a leg and a leg. I don't know. We've got yesterday's lows here, but I quickly drag this in. You can clearly see that there. Let's make it a bit bigger. 75. So, well, we did have that 76. So around about 75. There's some which is above this. Actually, it's changed. Oh no, it is 74. Sorry, it's further down the page. Now I've enlarged it a bit. It's a bit more clear. Let me just bring it in again quickly and open it up properly so you can see it. My things are in the way. That's why. There we go. 74. So I'm guessing it's a case of if it comes down to here, then there's some buy orders there. So whether that's take profits from up here, possibly, but that seems to be the bottom line at the moment. Around about, well, somewhere around about here. So that gives us maybe something to focus on. But okay, market's officially open. Buying is down here, so I mean it's clearly respecting this bottom line, isn't it? But if I'm gonna think about taking along, I'd rather it to pick up that liquidity there first, which it hasn't done yet. Now it's picking it up. Okay, right, market's gone a bit haywire at the moment. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's lots of orders around here, to be honest with you. So it's a bit hard to know what to do here, so probably just sit tight and see what happens, really, because there is a possibility we may end up doing something like this. I don't know whether we will or not, but we've gone a little bit side. But it looks like sort of a leg up with a pullback leg up, one leg, two leg, and then we've had this push down. We could try to go once, try to go twice, and then we could have another leg down. It's possible, but it's a bit too early to work out exactly what's going on. There's some more liquidity down at 70. Funnily enough, is right about where this. There's some strong liquidity down at 270. So, see, normally I'll be tempted to fade that, but I'm not going to. I'm not saying it's not going to work, but to me, there's strong liquidity. Now, it might come back up to the EMA and then come down, but for me, I just can't get into this. Now, it's quite a small bar and it might work, but I just think it's a bit risky personally. It's a personal thing, so you guys do what you want, but the strong liquidity down here, now, like I say, it could retest these bottoms before it goes lower. Okay, so that was a good decision to make. Normally, we would fade this range, say, but because I was aware of that liquidity down there at 270 or 42.70, I didn't. So it's already saved me a possible loss because I'd be tempted there. Normally, you would fade that, wouldn't you? And it's a relatively small bar, but it just goes to show you sometimes it keeps you out of a trade as well as makes your trade better. So I always find I like to settle for 10 minutes before I get into a trade. So I'm just going to have a little chit chat, say hello to whoever's in. I'm going to let that do its bit. But you could say quickly, see, you could say there's a little channel there. Okay, so look at that. Yeah, little channel, break, new low. Clearly a little micro channel there, or short-term trend channel, whatever you want to call it, with a break and a new low. Technically it is. So you'd be very tempted to go long there because it's almost bounced off yesterday's lows. And normally it's clear range and you would fade the range. That's how we would work. But because I can see this strong liquidity, now this is in the form of buy orders, or if you're short in here or shorting up here, a sell. Because if you sell something or go short, you buy yourself out of it. So it's whether it's a straightforward going, if the market comes down here, I'm going to buy, and you know. So so it is a small risk, that, so I may have taken that. Now, fortunately for me at the moment, I'm going for a time of, see, it's only 3/4 of a point, so a tick above it, tick below, it's 1.25. It's a really small risk, but it wouldn't have worked, so I made the right decision to stay out of that. So, and look at that, it's come down there. In fact, that's slightly lower than that. Let's have a look. In fact, look at that, perfect measured move. One leg. That's what I mean. I saw these two legs up, and I didn't know it was going to come down here, but to me it looked like a leg with possible 2 attempts to go higher and another leg, which it did exactly what I thought. But I'm glad I left that alone. 1, because we've got this leg down here, and 2, because we had that large amount of liquidities, 270, which we picked up. So Bookmap is clearly helping me. It's helping me make better decisions. It's keeping me out of trades like that. It's just giving me something, a little bit of an insight as to what else is going on, rather than just what I can see at the end of my nose. So I'm going to let it sort itself out a minute and I'll have a chat. So Speedy, how you doing, bud? In this short trade. Okay, so wherever you took it there, by the sounds of things, it worked. So good for you, mate. But it does look like a leg, doesn't it? See, it is ranging clearly, but if you look at the bigger picture is we've got a leg, pull back in a leg, so 1 leg, 2 legs, and then we've got another leg with 2 attempts to go higher, and then it failed with that strong bar there. So for me, we were going to have another leg. So that's what I predicted would happen, and it did happen. So that would keep me out of any longs. So that's part of the reason why I never took that. Another part of the reason is we had the strong liquidity down here. So I thought it may work. It may take you up to this retest, but I don't want to be working in that short distance to get my profits. I'd rather leave it alone. So it was a good decision to make, and I thank Bookmap for helped me making the right decision there. So we got like 1 leg up, 2 legs up. So interesting to see what happens now, whether we're going to maybe come down. I don't know. So let's have a look. Second entry short the 10,000. Hopefully it still works. I think it did, Speed. Good on you, mate. Second entry short there. Don't like it. It's too far from the MA. Especially after we've played out this measured move. It may continue down, but I think it's risky. It's a little bit sideways there. So personally, I think that's a risky trade. It might work, but it's not for me. Let's have a look. Okay, so Timothy Marks, good morning. How are you, mate? Groll Daddy, how you doing, buddy? SW Blaze, good morning from Chicago, the Windy City. Is it windy there today, is it? So we've got a cloudy day in the UK today for first time in weeks, I think. But there you go. Sania, good morning. How you doing? Yesterday, towards the end of the day, sell done by operators. Yeah, I think I shut myself off. I've started completely getting away from trading now at the end of my trading day, because it's becoming a bit, it's taking over my life a bit too much. So let's have a look. Buy above 42.85 only. 42.85. That's up here. So buy above that. Let's put that there. You've got a little, okay, so you've got a little blue icon there, mate. So what I'm going to do is make that blue. We'll call that your little mine. Now, you seem to me like you know what you're doing. So what I'm going to do is just put that there. So you said buy above there. As far as I'm concerned, that's good enough for me. I've got a feeling we may be making some moves down. We haven't pushed up enough. Yeah, see, that's why I didn't take that trade. It's just too risky, in my opinion. It may have made 2 points. Probably not. There you go. And the SPY operating done buy means buy on dip. Yeah, Sam. How you doing, Sam? So, okay, so far so good. My account, my 1p account, is nearly at $4,500 now. So I'm managing to slowly build it up, and I'm starting to relax a bit now. I've got another PA going live tomorrow. That will give me 3. But the beauty of paying that one-off payment, there's no rush to trade them. So you can trade one at a time, or 2 and 2, or split them up, or whatever you want to do. Okay, so there is a nice big bearish bar there. Where's some liquidity? There's stuff around 68. I kind of like where it is. Trouble is, well, we've hit that bottom and we've made a retest a bit lower, so I don't think I'm going to take anything there, although I don't think it's a terrible place to take a trade. Let's see if you'd have got 2 points. It's a little bit congested for me. That's where your 2 points would be, but in all honesty, as much as I kind of like where the bar is right at the bottom, it's a little bit congested. Now, usually it'll go sideways till it meets up with the EMA, and then it'll come down if indeed it's continuing down. So, okay, let's see if that does break below there. It may do. Trouble is, you haven't got enough room really to those lows. That's the bar I was looking at there. It's looking like we've had a push down, and we've tried a couple of times to get higher. Now, I kind of like it, but something about it's making me a bit nervous, so I'm going to leave it alone. I don't think it's a terrible trade, and I think it may come down to these bottoms, but I'm just a little bit unsure about it. Not only that, we've just broken out of this, so it may come back up and retest this bottom. So I'm leaving it. I'm just not a fan. Something just doesn't look right, and my instinct usually... now, if this comes down again, then it's a second entry short. We have to travel till 45. Okay, so you think we're coming down. That is a second entry short there. Still something that's making me nervous. There's a lot of liquidity at 66, which is down here, incidentally. Let's remove that anyway. So it never, oh, it did trigger, so it would have got stopped out there. Well, now it would have done, but yeah, anything now that makes me nervous, I'm trying to leave alone. Now that is a second entry short. It's just something doesn't feel right. As far as I'm concerned now, if something doesn't feel right, I'm staying out. Now, even if it means missing a trade, that's fine. But there is some liquidity, strong liquidity down here. So that's telling me it's going to come down, but I'd probably like to, let's remove that. Maybe retest this bottom first, I don't know. Okay, now one leg up, 2 leg. This looks like maybe 2 legs up. Have to travel till 45. Some speed breaks will come. 1 leg, 2 leg. Now that's what I mean about retesting this. Depending on where you put the bottom. So 1 leg, 2 leg. That looks like 2 legs up. So let's see what goes on here. Mark Whiting, when in doubt, stay out. How you doing, Mark? Absolutely. Mark, I have mentioned this before, but see this bit of software here, ATM one-click trader. Mark designed this, and he sells it. So if anybody is interested in buying this, there's a link in my description, and that will take you to the website. But it's a useful bit of software that you can get into trades a bit quicker. Saves you having to do the right click and then locate what you want to do and press it. It just enables you. I've got mine and limit them all. It enables you to just hit the button and
order submitted.
It just makes things a lot quicker, and then
Order
you cancel
cancelled.
them out. But so yeah, Mark Whiting. He's the guy that designed this. So yeah, link in the description if you're interested. Bigger channel, Third Touch. Yeah, I was aware that it may be. Let's have a look. Close enough. I like that very much. Okay, with the liquidity I can see down here at 66. That's telling me price is coming down now. One leg up, two leg up. See if we can get a lower high. Come back a little bit, and I'll take that for sure. But one leg, two legs, perfect. Two legs, followed by bearish bar. But I prefer to push down a little bit of a
order submitted.
Pullback. Come on, give us a little pullback, and then we'll have another leg down for 2 points. Sunny here, down may go up. Downside may go up. 42.53. Gives a little bit of a pullback here. Okay, touch. I think that's close enough. We've pushed down anyway, got a little bit sideways, but for me, one leg up, two. It's a perfect one. It's perfect 2 legs back. But if this finishes bearish, I will 100% be going short there. I like this trade if it finishes bearish. I like it very much. Come on, be lucky, be lucky, be lucky. Nope, no dice.
Order cancelled.
No. Yeah, 1, 2 legs up. I actually prefer something to touch this a bit closer. Although the backside's fitting nice, it's starting to look like a really nice channel. Strong liquidity down here. Where are you? There we go. 266. Downside may go up to 42.53. We're nowhere near down there yet anyway, so yeah, okay. Okie doke. And there is some at 68, so everything's pointing to the strong liquidity is down. There is some at 277 up here, but I would prefer to bounce off here if I could. Okay, so 1 leg up, 2 leg up. Maybe we get another second entry off here and then pick off a lower high. I prefer to touch this again, really. It's certainly looking like a channel. I got no argument there. My only slight concern is that we have broken out of this range and this is our low, so there is a possibility we could retest the bottom of this channel, and if it does that, it will also confirm the top of this channel. But it does fit nice. Leg. It's slowly sweeping down, but second entry short. Come on, push up to here. A bit higher. Also, it's tried to go once, tried to go twice, tried to go 3 times. That's a failure. Okay, interesting. So if it does, this is confirming that line for me. So have a look here. I think there's a small channel there. Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay, small channel there. Break 1, 2. I prefer. We've had a break of it. Try to go once. Try to go twice. Whether it's here, I prefer it to touch here and then drop down. But that's a channel. We've had a break of it. 1, 2 pushes up, hopefully to a new high. Go on, tick higher. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're looking now for a lower high. So I can adjust that a fraction and I can just squeeze that in and I can take that over to there, which I think is okay. So we want something bearish now and then a lower high. I like the way it's retested the bottom of this channel. We've had a little channel there, breakout, 2 pushes up to a new high. So we've got a pretty bearish bar, but I'd much prefer the lower high, the bottom of the EMA, just in case. Because as I say, we've come out of this range and there is a possibility it could go back in. I don't think it will. Everything's pointing to down for me, but I just prefer not to take that one. Just in case. Because it has ticked and it's triggered you in there. So hopefully if it comes down and gives us a lower high, then that'll give me some interest. And the good thing is there is some liquidity at 27, a bit more. So we may be able to get a decent push here, but right, that was my concern about taking that. I'll be shocked if that doesn't stop out that bar. If you've got a tick above it. 1, 2, but it's retesting that bottom line. So if that holds and doesn't break above there, for me, we're coming down. Okay, and that's why you can't take that bar there. As tempting as it is, you just can't take it. We got a little channel there with the break 1, 2 legs up to, or 3 legs up to a new high. That's what I mean. It can come back into there. That liquidity is strong at 68. Stop loss for sell trades. Yeah, see, we trade a different strategy. If I'm taking a short there, I will buy it either at the bottom when it breaks below or when it breaks below, and my stop loss will be 1 tick above that bar. That's how this particular strategy works. But I would prefer confirmation that we're coming down by waiting for it to come down and then giving us a lower high below the EMA indicating then we're going to make some more move to the downside. But that was looking quite promising when that one happened. But it could be a channel and just a break. Interesting. Yeah, there have been times where I've taken that one and go, oh, little channel there, break, 2 legs up to a new high, nice big bearish bar, confirming the channel. Let's go short. What happens? It ticks below and then stops you out. So I've learned just to be a little bit careful of that and wait for the lower high. And really, that's how you learn, by getting stopped out. So let's just for now call this a break. It's pushed up and literally just come back into this range. So let's see if this fails and comes down. And if it does, I'll be looking for something below the EMA. So, okay, I'll tell you what I'm seeing here. There's 2 legs. Beautiful. Okay. We've pushed down, we've hit this new low, 1, 2 legs up. I'd say now personally we're coming down, but I don't like the way that's bounced off the top. And 21 target. Perhaps it's pushed below and it's just retesting the bottom of this before it continues low. I want it to also, if you count this one, no, that's all right. Lots of liquidity down here. It starts at 68.50, which is about here. Now, I'd expect it to break this channel if we can get down. There is a possibility we're going up. I don't think we are, but there could be. There could be a okay, so that kind of fits as well. So let's get rid of that. So I'm getting conflicting reports here. That looks like a hidden second entry long. So this is interesting, this. Touch, touch, touch. Now this is a channel up here. This is areas where you get trapped. See what happens here. Just going to make that a different colour. Okay, so that measured leg is as good as played out. See, I'm not 100% convinced this is a channel now. It could be just one leg with two attempts to go higher and another leg, and now we're slowly working back in there. I'm just gonna okay, this'll decide for us. This'll decide for us. So touch, 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 touch. See what happens here. Interesting. So, yeah, the strongest area of liquidity is around about the 270. So, but I can see there's a lump there. 268.50 as well. Come on. So whether we're going to come down or not, I don't know. I mean, that's clearly two legs up there. It could be just two legs and now we're slowly working down. I don't know. I was hoping that would finish bullish because that would be a second entry long. And if that triggered and came down below there, then I'd say we're coming down. Okay, possible failure there. Failed second entry long. Now we've pushed down and we've retested this once, twice, three times. Retested the bottom of this channel. So this may be a failure. Let's see if it triggers and comes down. If it does, I'll look for a lower high. Interesting, yeah. I mean, it is a bit of a channel, but it's one leg, two leg. Okay, there's the failure. See what happens. I was hoping that would be bullish because it may trap a few, but EMA holding. It's a bit congested here. I personally think, from what I can see, the liquidity, there is some at 277, so it may push higher, but I think it's going to come down some more, because look what I can see there. This bottom of this channel, we've broken out of it. We've come back and we've tried once, twice, three times, four times, five times to try and get through. So I think we're coming down personally, but been known to be wrong. It's really struggling to get above the bottom of this line here. So for me, I think we're coming down. Let's see if that bigger channel has anything. No. Let's get rid of it for now. No. Okay, interesting. It's broken out a little bit. One leg, two leg. It could just be one leg and two legs and then a push up, but I think we're coming down, personally. Oh, come on, get a grip. That's two legs to me, and we've come back and struggled to break through that line, so I think we're coming down. Liquidity is strong at 270, which is here. So my thoughts are we were coming down, but it could be one leg, two leg, and then a push up. So I'm a little bit conflicted here. So are you, Sam? Congested? It is congested. See, there is a failure there. Trouble is, I like a failure where there's a second entry long, and I like it to trap it and then come down, because it is trying to break through the bottom of this channel, this range area. Disney, target 180, buy on dip. Excellent. Also to add here. Any idea? What's your thoughts, Senator, on Bitcoin? We've had a bit of a break to 25, which everyone thought we would get to. Now, I've heard people like Gareth Soloway saying it could come down to 12,000, 9,000 possibly. I'm waiting for another drop to pick up some more Solana, Cardano, and maybe a bit more XRP. Interesting. Same again there. It's struggling to break back into that channel. Trouble is, okay, so we've had a. I'm staying at this book map. Seems to be useless. It shows liquidity. Yeah, you've got to. You can't just go with the liquidity. You've got to look for setups as well. But my point is, that was a setup, okay? So we had this little channel, we had a break, and we had a new low, yeah? Now, normally you'd fade the range, but I was seeing strong liquidity down here, so I left that one alone, and it saved me a good trade. You can't just go, there's loads of liquidity down here, let's just short, because it doesn't work. You have to be aware of where the liquidity is, but it helps you make better decisions. So it's not the magic bullet, but it will save you, in my opinion, some losses. But you've got to give these things a chance. They're not magic bullets, but they are popular because they do play an important role. You've just got to understand how to use it. You've still got to go for a setup, but it just helps secure. So if I was going long from here, okay, second entry long, and there was a massive liquidity, that will help you stay in your runners longer or stay in a trade longer. And same with that one there. Had a break out of there and a new low. We also bounced off yesterday's low. Fade the range, you'd normally fade that, but because I could see this liquidity down here, I left it alone and it saved my arse. So it's, you know, it swings and roundabouts, but if you use it correctly, it can save you. You know, it can help you make better decisions, help you stay in trades longer, and stop you making some naff trades. It's helped me anyway, but yeah, you can't just say, oh, there's liquidity there, let's go long or let's go short. You've got to have a setup as well, because what you've got to take into consideration, you've got these liquidity areas, but what you've also got is aggressive buyers and sellers, and they play a part as well. So if we get a great setup to the downside, you could have a lot of aggressive sellers, regardless of whether we got liquidity up here. So, you know, you still got to. It plays an important part in your trading, but it's not a magic bullet. See that, like one leg, two leg. It's tried a bunch of times to go higher. 23.8 is strong support. 23.8. Yeah, I'm looking for some Solana. I got an order for 30 or 40 Solana at $18. It was at 22. It's around about 20 or just under at the moment, so I was hoping it was going to come down. God, I bought some Solana last year, $145. I thought they were a bargain. So I'm just trying to bring my overall price down, but 23.8. Yeah, so that's another couple of $1,000, so say about another 10%. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so we've had a break out of this little channel here, trying to go higher, and we're struggling to go higher, so it may just come crashing down and take out any of the longs in here. You may have gone long there. We've had a break. You've gone long there. That's triggered. You're still in that. So you've got to keep an eye on the aggressive buyers and sellers, because if people start aggressively buying, it doesn't matter where liquidity is, that'll just stay there. It doesn't mean if there's loads of liquidity, if people start aggressive buying, it's going to go up. Okay, so we've got this new low here, triangle 1, triangle failure. So that's triggered and that one's triggered. But I would not like to be in this long trade because that's clearly congested to me. One leg down. So I hope it does go up for the sake of the longs. There's some liquidity at 77. So it may get to 77, but it might not get much higher. Maybe a wider range, yeah, it's possible. Maybe down here at the moment. See, we're touching a bunch of times there, but okay, so we've hit that 77. Let's see what happens now. So this little channel, and it looks like a channel. We're touching. We've had a break of it. A new high. Okay, so there's some liquidity here. So around about the midline. So but yeah, that's why I was concerned about going short again, because it is a possibility it could push back into this channel, the range, sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Maybe leave it there for now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so touch. Let's leave it there for now. Well, it is still at 78. The stuff around the 70 is dried off, so let's put that there. Let's get that out of the way. So, break from this channel, new high. So, what are we doing? Maybe a rider range midline fits. Midline does fit, mate, yeah. Midline's clearly playing a part. Okay, so that's triggered. Back's in a break, made a new high. So if you recount this, that's a higher low. But I think that's going to stop that out personally. I may be wrong, but I wouldn't like to be in that trade. Okay, you may be okay. No, I still wouldn't like to be in it. There's some buying at 73 down here. So if we are on a channel, then it's likely it may continue higher. I don't think we got anything wider going on there. We may have actually. Touch. Okay, I kind of like that. Okay, yeah, I like that channel. It's fitting really nice there. So that was me thinking for sure we're coming down, but then no, definitely not. It's been a while since we've had a true range day. I think there was a bit of a range afternoon yesterday, but we had that big push down, and we've had some really strong up days, so we haven't had a sort of a more of a stable sideways day, really, have we? Range day. It's been a bit. So I'd expect this to come up to this area now. It's funny. I've just looked at the liquidity, and most of it feathers out at 81. And strangely enough, 81 or 80 is around about there. So the reason I'm thinking that is touch, touch, touch. If it goes above, hits that 81, those sell orders kick in, and it comes back down. So maybe we've sort of pushed down and we've gone a bit sideways, and we're working in this section of a channel. Touch a few times, touch a few times, touch a few times, almost like a triple test. We're at the top of this little channel, maybe at the top of a range. Is that a good place to buy? I wouldn't have thought so. Okay, see if it hits 81. Okay, that's picked up the rest of that liquidity now. So there is some 85, which is just above here. So I can't see it going much higher, personally. One leg, two legs. Is that two legs up? One leg, two leg. See how that finishes. There is some at 85 actually, which is just above this, so perhaps it might be coming to the top of this. Strong at 85, then it feathers out there. It's alright, I was just looking for a mid-morning from Mac. We got nothing as yet. Okay, so 85, 86, around about there, which is up here. Funnily enough, right at the top here, so there's a lump of liquidity, 84 to 86, right the way around here. Let's put it in the middle of it. 86 being the highest, no, 88 being the highest, so see what happens. See if it hits this area and then tanks or drops. Sorry, I didn't see the comments. I was on Max at the moment. MSI using Pat's trading system. Correct, I am, yeah. So yeah, that's the stay in the market, mate. Yeah, so you've put only buy above here, didn't you? So we're not above there yet. So let's have a look, Chris. Can you show your bookmap software real quickly? Yes, I can. That's basically it. So let me move that. I'll make it bigger. That's what I'm looking at. All this liquidity, yeah, which is around about the 45, 46 mark. So when it hits all them sell orders, whether they're if you're going in a long trade, when you sell that long trade, it turns into a sell order. And if you're just selling, it's a sell order as well. So that's what I'm looking at, and it's sucked up a lot of that. There's some left, 330 orders, and there is some at 88. Whether it'll get that far, but if it picks this up, that will turn into some sell orders. And there you go. See. So what did it get to? It picked some up, but it didn't get the 86. It picked some up, But you've got to take into consideration the aggressive sellers as well. And the aggressive sellers are outnumbering the buyers nearly 2 to 1 at the moment, which has caused that push down. So some buyers will be taking their profits, which turn it sellers. Remember I said that the liquidity started at 84 to 86. It's pushed above 86, picked up a lot around here, but didn't quite go high enough. So whether it'll go higher, I think it might do. And finally, we pushed out. And I mentioned this yesterday. A lot of the times, now if there's a low liquidity here, I won't leave my target there. I'll come out earlier because it's always best to come out a bit earlier, isn't it? If Bitcoin tops off at $65,000, I would prefer to come out around about the 64 or 64 and a half, and not wait for that last tiny little bit just in case. And that's why, because sometimes it gets there a little bit early, and instead of waiting, you get out a bit early and it drops it. Now, what I have seen it do sometimes, it will then make another attempt to go out a bit higher, but I'd rather just get out and rather than sit through all this to come back. If you're, if your stop is a lot bigger, depending on what strategy you're trading, my stop's 2.5, 3 points. Well, I don't want to sit through that just to wait for it to come up again and get a few extra ticks. So, Chris, live futures trading on Bookmap, Jigsaw, trades futures trading Lance. Thanks again for sharing Bookmap. I really like it. Very useful. You're welcome, Jeff. It is. It's a bit of a crutch, if you ask me. It will help you stay out of bad trades, and it will confirm, I think, that you're going in the right direction when you take a trade. Okay, so this might be another attempt to go higher, or it might not be. There is still some liquidity at just under 86, which is about here. So, but yeah, there wasn't really a signal bar there for us, was there? We just had that strong push up, and then there was an inside bar and then drop. 1, 2 legs to the EMA, but yeah, it looks a bit complicated when you look at it. When first time I looked at it, I thought, yeah, not a chance of my figuring out what's wrong with that. But it's actually pretty straightforward. These strong liquidity areas are obviously there for a reason. If I bought down here and I put my profit up here, that's showing as a sell order amongst with everybody else's. And if there's masses of selling up here, that tells me if it hits this area and then comes back down and we're at the top of a range, chances are then we're coming down. So it's useful. So it may not go back up and pick those up. It may come down. You've got to take into consideration the aggressive buyers and sellers. What does Bookmap run? What does Bookmap run? What does it cost? Nothing, mate. Well, you can. I think for the global, what we use, the cheaper global, I think it's about $49. But to be honest with you, you can watch it on YouTube for free. And I think it's about 4 or 5 second delay, which, in all honesty, I haven't found a problem with. 4 or 5 seconds is not a lot, really, in the grand scheme of things. We don't sort of, I'm looking at liquidity up here. I can see it, 10, 15 minutes early. So 4 or 5 seconds. But I think it's $49 for the monthly, or $39 if you want to do it for over 12 months. Sorry, I'm working, guys. No, that's all right. Don't worry, Chris. It's okay. So let's have a look, Nick. That YouTube guy has been active talking the past few days. YouTube guy has been active talking the past. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's on there all the time. I think he trades 23 hours a day. I think, Nick. Yeah, see, that liquidity is still strong here, and market does move towards liquidity. So I think we're going to have another push up. That looks like 1, 2 legs. We've just literally gone straight through the EMA. This may come back in a test, and I think it'll go higher. Looks like one leg, two legs, one leg, two legs. There is some liquidity up there at 85. Maybe I take this.
Order submitted.
That's pushing up again. The only reason I'm nervous about that is because we'd have one leg with a pullback and another leg. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hit that. I think it will, but one leg down, break, another leg down. I'm nervous. Okay, let's see if it comes back and gets me again. Let's take 2 points if we can.
Order filled.
Okay, that's where I want to get at. 2.25, 3.4.25. Let's go there for 2 points. Is that the right place? Yeah. I think we'll come back and retest this area. There's some strong liquidity up here. It looks like one leg in that. We'll see. Not just that, we got this trend channel and a break. You'd expect a new high. So I'm not going to be greedy. I'm just going to come out for me 2 points. Let's go there.
Target filled.
One leg, two leg. Okay, beautiful. Fantastic. That's what I like. Nice clean trade. Now, a lot of the times I'll drop it in, but what I've noticed, if you look at Penguin Guy, he lets these trades starts to push up, and maybe that one as well, and then drops an order. He gives it a chance to start moving, and I like that. Sometimes just jumping in here, I think sometimes adds a bit more risk. I let that one go, and I started to let that one go as well, which tells me it's starting to move. So I like the way of doing that. I like to give it a little bit of a... Now, if you see the Penguin Guy, sometimes he'll 3 or 4 points, but he'll let it move first, and then he's got a good idea where it's going. So I rate him as a trader, the Penguin Guy. I think he's a solid trader. He's a technical trader, and I really rate him. So that, to me, we had this channel up. We got 1, 2 legs down, 1 leg, 2 leg, and a push up. Really shot straight up with the EMA, came back down, touched the EMA, pushed up, finishing basically on its high. And I let that one go and that one go, which started to... Now, if this was going to have 1 leg come down, as soon as it triggered there, 1 or 2 ticks, it'd be on its way down if that was going to have 1 leg 2 down. So I let it go a little bit and then just put me a limit order, and then it came back and got me. But there is some strong liquidity at 85 and very strong liquidity at 86. So I got out nicely here just for 2 points. Let's see, you have to see confirmation. Yeah, I kind of like that. I watched him do that a couple of days ago, and I thought, actually, I like the fact that it gives it a chance to move. Because a lot of the cases, if we have a leg down and we have a break and a leg down, if there's a trap there, a lot of the times it'll trigger you and then come straight down. But that didn't. It triggered, came out a bit, came down a bit, and you know, it was a little bit in the middle. And then we had that one did the same. So that tells me it's slowly working up. So that just gives me that little bit of extra confidence that I'm making the right decision. Who was the Penguin Guy? He's just called Penguin Trades. He doesn't stream live, but he puts his trade analysis on at the end of the day. Now, as far as I'm concerned, he's one of the best traders on YouTube, I think, that trades our style. Now, he trades the same pats, but he goes for a minimum 1-to-1. So he does max system, same sort of setups, but he goes for a few more points. So, but watch him, and he's very technical. He reads the market, like he's reading he's fluent in it. And I like that, and I try and watch him more and more because I like the way you can see these legs down and then see with this one here. Now, I can't see a trade here, but I guarantee you, if you look tonight, he'll have his stop there and he'll take that trade because he'll see this channel and his words will be, we made 2 attempts to go higher, we pushed through the EMA, so he'll take that. Watch tonight, that's where his short will be, and he'll take that for maybe 1-to-1, depends on that, how big that leg is. He'll be expecting that other leg. So 1-to-1 would be down here. So I don't think he'd go 2-to-1. He may do. But watch him, have a look at him. That stop loss is near. You can't try for sell trade. Yeah, see. Now, a lot of cases, we've got this new high here. Strike one, strike right, failure. You might take that failure. But because I've got bookmap, I can see there's a lot of liquidity at 85 and 86, which is above this. So I think if you take that short, it'll trigger you. It may come to the MA, and I think it's going to go up and stop you out. Now, ordinarily, you may take that. It's a second entry short. It's also a failed second entry long. But I think it's dangerous. And the reason I think it's dangerous is because I can see all this liquidity up here. So let's see if that... Now, if I didn't have bookmap, I'd have been tempted to take that trade. So we got this. We've had a break. We tried to go high once, struggled twice, failure. I'd be tempted to take that trade. But because I can see this liquidity up here, market moves towards liquidity. Now, you're not really going to be buying here, are you? The only orders really at the moment left are the shorts up here, and market moves towards liquidity. So if I'm selling up here, if I got an order to sell, market's going to drift towards me and pick up those sell orders, and that's going to force it down. Because you're not going to be buying here, really, are you? It's not the best place to buy unless you really know what you're doing. I mean, there's a second entry long there, but there's certainly going to be a lot more shorts up here. So watch that bar, push above that one and that one. So if you took that one, you might not have took that one, but you might have taken that one. I mean, it might come down, but that, because I can see that liquidity, it's keeping me out of that trade, and that trade is the second entry short or failed second entry long from this new high. Normally, if we can't, we'll make a couple of attempts to go higher. There's one, there's two. And that. Now, there's a couple of things that'll happen here. There is a second entry long which has been triggered. So, I think it'll stop out these two. And then it'll come down and possibly stop out if anybody went long there. Okay, so we've got this new low, struggle at once, struggle at twice, failure. That bullish bar there. So, if you took that there as the lower high, you're going to get stopped out any second now. And if you're into that for long, it's going to trigger you, come up here, and then come down some more. So, that's what does move market towards liquidity means. Okay, so if there's not a lot of trades here at the moment, and someone's selling up here, if I got a limit order for a sell up here, market is going to graduate towards where money is, which is the term in the phrase move towards liquidity. So if there's no sell orders but lots of buy orders, money's waiting down there to be spent. Money's going to start drifting towards it, and that's how it works. Moves towards liquidity, moves to where the money is. So the sell orders or the take profits for the longs, which turn into sell orders. So that makes sense, mate. Yeah, I didn't know what it was myself. I had to read it up when I, not long after I started. So yeah, so that's how it works. Markets move to where the money is. So we're still not finished yet. So, okay, so we've had this short-term trend line, we've had a break. We haven't had a new high yet. I think we will. The reason I do is because of this liquidity. Now, there was a second entry short there. Now, normally, at the top of a range like this, if you didn't take that one, you may take the lighter lower high, you'd certainly almost always, I mean, that's above the EMA. You might not have took that anyway, but a lot of the times you would take the lower high or the failed second entry long, and it's triggered you, and it's pushing up. Now, we don't know, without looking at Bookmap, that there's this liquidity. So, you know, it does keep you. Now, if I wasn't seeing this Bookmap, I'd be maybe tempted to take that, and I know it's above the EMA. It's a bit more risky, but top of a range. You know, if you watch any of Mac's videos, you'll see a video where he talks about range days, and he says range days are easy. You just short the tops and buy the bottoms. Well, it's not always the case. So there you go. So if you took the lower high from this or the failure, you got stopped out there. So that's the beauty of Bookmap. It helps you stay out of bad trades. Second entry short, failed second entry long, third attempt to go higher, right at the top of the range, bearish as you like. How many people are going to take that trade? Certainly a lot more, maybe less experienced traders. I class myself as a relatively less experienced trader. I've been trading for 2.5 years. That's relatively inexperienced. But it's a second entry short. Third attempt to go higher. Market tries to, you know, it'll have a break. It'll make 2 attempts to go higher, and then usually they give up. But because I can see this on Bookmap, I've decided to leave that alone, and it was a good decision. And I came out exactly the right time then. I don't want to push my luck. I think it's always better to get out a few ticks early. That trade I did yesterday went 2 ticks above where I got out. So that was a good decision to get out there. I like to just get out before everybody else thinks about it, just in case. Okay, so maybe quite a lot of attempts to go higher there, and they're all failing. But trouble is, you've got that got to here, and you've got people selling, but the bigger sellers that I can see are up here, so I'd like to see that break, pick these sell orders, and then come back down, and then start to work our way down. So plus 2 points. But yeah, think about doing that. If you're thinking about taking a long or a short or a trade, sometimes I think it's a good idea to let it start to move, because a lot of the times where you get trapped, it'll literally tick above you by 1 or 2 ticks and come down. So if we were having a leg down there and a pullback and any longs got in there, it'll literally tick above 1 or 2 ticks and then come down for a second leg. So I gave that a chance to work higher. And then that one. Sometimes though, and I've done this before, that'll work higher and it'll go up and you'll think, yeah, I'm in, and then you'll buy it. And the second you do, it'll come down and start working down. Because it went up and then came down and then finished in the middle. And as soon as that one started, I started to get the feeling that, okay, I'm making a better decision there. And then it obviously slowly grind it up. Is trading worth it long term? 100%. Now, don't get me wrong, trading is hard. And I'll tell you the hard bit. Learning the system is doable for anybody. But there are lots of knockbacks. And you've got to have a thick skin, because you are going to have lots of failures, and you are going to lose money, and you are going to feel miserable, and you are going to have bad days, and you are going to feel like the world's coming to an end, and you feel like crying. And, you know, I had a day where I lost maybe the 7th or 8th P account, and I just lost my temper, punched one of my screens, threw it out the window. I found been more miserable around home, but I got a patient wife. So it's hard and it's tough, and the psychological side is difficult. It takes a long time. Now, I would say if you put a massive amount of time into it and really commit, 2-3 years, I don't see why you could make money, but you are going to feel miserable. and you are going to lose money. Now, you can manage that money by making better decisions, but ultimately the biggest target is dealing with the psychological side. And I think the biggest answer for that is just time. It takes time. You're going to fail so many times and you're going to slowly mold that brain in. But if you can do that and you're willing to commit, then you can make a fortune at trading. You can make a lot of money at trading. And we know traders who make a lot of money. And you can. I've been trading long enough now to know how much money you can make. So let's reload your chart. Your trade looks even more bullish than mine. So yeah, in my opinion, it's worth it. If you're a young guy and you're full of beans and you like a challenge and you don't give up, then yeah. I mean, if I know now what I knew before I trade, would I trade it again? Absolutely. You know, I think trading's in my blood. I do. I love the challenge of it, but I'm a corner cutter. So I've lost more than I really needed to. But you have to be committed. It's posted. What's your name? Al Harth? Is that right? Harth? I think that's right. If you're new to trading, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do you a big favour. This is where I learned to trade, and this is where most of us learn to trade. Max price action trading system. Now, I shit you not, you will not find a course cheaper than $125 per year. There are there's hundreds of videos on here. There's all sorts of stuff. Ask anybody. If you want to learn to trade, then $125 for a year. It's a steal, an absolute steal. Mac's a lovely guy. If you want to know a little bit more about him, he posts his chart and his analysis of the day. Hold on a second. Where is it? It's not out yet, is it? He posts his chart analysis on YouTube, and he's been doing that for the last 13 years. He's got over 2,000 videos. Oh, yeah, it is. So if you want to learn to trade, my honest opinion, you can't go wrong with Mac. I'll tell you now. Ask anybody here. Okay, so, yeah, I actually moved that up there a minute just to have a look. And that's where Mac's got his now. Well, he's got his to here, but it doesn't really actually make a difference. I don't think so. Yeah, he's got a channel down here, but it's by the by now, isn't it? That one there, I think. It doesn't really matter. But yeah. Channel down, channel down. Yeah, okay, sound. Yeah, but if you look at this, there's all sorts of stuff on here. There's all sorts of stuff on here. Videos, content, video lessons. There's all sorts of stuff on here. Honestly, you won't go wrong with Mac. Promise you that. Just finished university. I have no passion to continue studying. I've taken. Where are you from? Where are you from? What part of the world are you from? Yeah, I mean, I'm 53. My only regret is I didn't start to trade early. It is difficult, but you can do it with time. And you can make yourself a lot of money. I mean, if you trade with something like Apex, the prop firms, if you've got 10 accounts, and I've made $200 today. Now, if I've got 10 accounts, you can times that by 10. That's $2,000 a day. That is not difficult to achieve. $200 a day, one trade, 2 points. It's $2,000 a day. That's a potential $40,000 a month. It's no more difficult than that. But dealing with the psychological side is the bit that takes the time. The principles, learning the strategy, taking the trade, is straightforward. It's the psychological effect it has on you when you lose a trade, for instance. And it's tempting to get into a poor trade. So it's practice, and it just takes time. You live in Nottingham. Okay, so you're not far away. Shropshire I am. So if you finish university, you're still quite young, yeah. I'd say, yeah, it's absolutely worth it. It's absolutely worth it. But you want to be looking really 2 to 3 years, maybe a little bit more. But if you stick at it and you commit, you'll earn yourself a lot of money. There is a second entry long there. The trouble is, I do like that, but we have just broken out here, picked up that liquidity and come down. So I think, personally, that's a risk. And see the way it's just ticked above it. It might push up, but I think it's a risk. Now, at the moment, we've been ranging. So the tops of the range is a little breakout there, another breakout there. Now, I was thinking about going short down here, but I did mention that it could be a range and it might come back in. So I think that's a bit risky, but it may work. Try go one strike. I think that's a failure. I think that's going to get stopped out. But I might be wrong. But there still is some liquidity here. It didn't pick it all up, so that might be people saying if we push higher again, I might have a go. Please pull back to VWAP now. Yeah, I think that's going to get stopped out myself, and that's a failure. You may take that back in there, but I still believe in that channel, so I wouldn't want to go short until it broke out and started coming down. You studied sport and exercise. Okay, so if you're a sportsman and you can exercise, you've clearly got motivation. Anybody who can keep themselves physically fit, as far as I'm concerned, has got enough motivation or is blessed with a bit of motivation. I've always struggled with that personally. I always hated running and stuff like that. I took up karate in the end just purely because it interested me and the fitness came along as a sort of a side effect. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're the type of person that can exercise and keep yourself fit, I'd say straight away that's a plus because you've got motivation. Because sometimes when you feel crappy or a bad day, if you can still get out there and do something, I think you're good. Okay, so that's a second entry long. This may be a high low, but this is just risky to me. If you took that, I believe you're going to get stopped out. Whether it's going to come down, I still think it's going to go higher, but let's have a look. You may be okay. You could say there's a little micro channel there, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. It's just a little bit congested and a bit. I'm not sure whether we're going up higher. I'd like to think we're going to push through that and clip that again, but you know, it is ranging. We had this down the bottom and it pushed back in, and we like often we get a mirror image and we have here. So you could say that's a higher low, but I still think it's risky. Choose to study because I am obsessed with exercise and sport. Straight away. Yeah, you've got a plus. You've got a plus going for you. Because you've got the motivation to get out of bed in the morning, go out for a run or go out and do whatever sport you are. So yeah. But I tell you something, mate, and I'm being perfectly honest now. I've been a chef, I've been a truck driver, I've been a bricklayer most of my life. And I've hated working for other people and nothing's really done. Now, I got into trading purely by accident. And I started with Mac, priceactiontrading.com, and when I found out it was $125 for a year, it's so cheap. Honest to God, you can, if you want to private message me anytime, I'll help you out with whatever you want to do. But in my opinion, I've seen so many courses out there and they're all expensive, a lot of them. But Mac's a great guy. Go onto YouTube, type Price Action Trading System or PATS, and he's got videos on there, over 2,000, going back 13 years. He's from the South in the US. He's just a lovely guy. He's a very quiet, patient guy, a humble guy. And he's not out to rip people off. And most of the traders on here, I'd say, majority of them will study under him. But $125 a year, you can't go wrong with that. One chart, one time frame, it's straightforward. I started learning currency, I did for the first 6 months, and I had screens everywhere. You know, if this was my main chart, you know, I'd have maybe 6 different currency pairs here, and I'd have screens and charts and all sorts all over the place. It's hard work. This is just so much better, in my opinion. Cornell's. I call a dip down now. Well, it's certainly struggling to go higher, isn't it? Now we have still got some liquidity. 42.86 and a quarter, which is 42.86 and a quarter, which is just there. So my concern about going short, and you may have gone short there with a failure because there was a second entry long, and that triggered and it came down and it continued higher. So that tells me I think it's more likely to break this high, purely and simply because there was a second entry long which triggered. There was also a failed second entry which triggered, and the shorts got stopped out there if you'd have taken that. So that's telling me there's still enough buyers to push it higher. And there's a load of short orders here, whether that's profits or whatever. So personally, I can't go short, not yet anyway. And not only that, it is possible. We've had some really good trending days lately that this may just keep on going. I don't think it will. In fact, I do actually. If you look at the liquidity, it's strong up to 42.90. So that's a small breakout. So is that. If we get another breakout, I think it's going to start to go higher. That's looking quite like kind of a nice channel there. And in my opinion, once it hits this, which I think it will, I think it may continue higher. Liquidity around about 80 something, but there's not much else, not huge amounts down here, which is telling me I think we're going higher. Do you plans to trade anything else after mastering the EMA? I have thought about, some people trade the NQ as well, but to be fair, I think one chart's enough for me. One chart's enough for me. And I don't know how long does it take to master something? Years and years. I'm quite happy sticking with the one. Okay, that's it, that liquidity. I was hoping that might drop a bit lower. We might get a decent higher low there, and we didn't really. So, and it's too risky going long there. Okay, so that liquidity is up as high as 90, so it's not far off there now. So I think now we may be at the start of a bigger. Where is it? 290. Yeah, it's smashed straight up there. Look, you can always just scale it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can trade up to 20 contracts with Apex. So that's, I mean, if I got $200 here, and $200 a day, if you're smart and you just sit patiently and wait for one trade and you do that, imagine that times 20. That's $4,000 a day. That's a massive amount of money. 10 days, 40, that's $80,000 a month. The potential's there. Now, even if you lose, say, you lose a bunch of it and you earn only half of that. No. You can make a stack of money, plenty of money to be made, but it does require patience and it does require time to learn. And you have got to go through all this shit about trying to cut corners and trying to speed things up. And that's fitting really nice there. Touch beautifully there. Nice enough there. Same there. So let's have a look now. Okay, liquidity now is starting to get stronger at 92, 95 and 300. So I can now see a continuation of a channel. We've broken out of this now. So for me, now I'm just thinking about taking longs. So it's not dark yellow liquidity, but there's nothing else I can see really. Completely changed how I protect the account after watching your stream. Oh, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Trust me, I've had my fair share of troubles, and I still do from time to time. I blew an account last week. Got a little bit frustrated, but that's the beauty of having multiple accounts. If you do something stupid, please just do it on one account. Don't do it on the lot. But I'm trying to focus now on just taking good setups. I've spent such a lot of time. You guys seen me take questionable trades many times. And I'm now just trying to focus on taking good quality trades and less of them, one, maybe two. So let's have a look. 95. So there is some liquidity there, and it's getting stronger. And there's also some copy paste here. So the strong liquidity, and I can just see how the market's developing. It's slowly getting sucked up. But just because that's liquidity there doesn't mean you should buy there. You've still got to take them. You've still got to take them in the right area, and they've got to be a setup. But the fact that I know all this is up there gives me confidence in taking trades. And if I get a runner or decide, there's a bigger move there and I might want to, bring me stop and secure 2 points, it's giving me confidence that this is where it's likely to go, because it does this regularly, and I've got enough faith in it now. UK, curious, what are the two numbers next to the price? Okay, that number there is just how many ticks that current bar is. One tick at the moment. As it gets bigger, that will grow. That number there, as we're trading the 2000 tick chart, as opposed to a 5-minute chart or an hour chart per bar, the 2000 tick just means 2000 trades. So we'll have 2000 trades, and then we'll start a new bar. So that is the countdown from 2000. So if you're looking to take a bar here, as that's counting down, that's where you want to be thinking of taking your trades just before the next bar starts. So that's the countdown, and that one there is just the previous bar. So there's your trades counting down 2000 before we start another bar. That's your previous bar, and that 5 is the current bar. How many ticks? I think most people trade on a time frame, whether it be 2 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, a day, 45 minutes, whatever. But Mac, apparently, his system is supposed to be more accurate with using this 2000 tick chart. So it just means 2000 trades per bar, and then we move to the next one. Yeah, absolutely, Jay. More accounts, less contracts. If you've got 10 accounts and you trade one contract and win one trade a day, that's $1,000 a day. Just one contract, $1,000 a day, $20,000 a month. That's just on one contract. As that account grows, you can just increase your contract size to 2, which will double your profits and so on. And you can, with trading prop firms, trade up to 20 accounts. So it enables you to keep your contracts low, because to be honest with you, if you've got one account and you're just doing one trade a day, one contract, you're making potentially $100 a day. It's not a huge amount, but by multiplying the amount of accounts you've got, you obviously dramatically then increase the amounts of money you make. 2 accounts, that's $200 a day, $1,000 a week, 4, and that doubles again, and so on. You're welcome, mate. When I started following you, I was trading one account pretty close to max. Now I trade 5 accounts small. Good for you, mate. Yeah, don't think I'm the be all and end all. I have, I've had lots of problems, and I still struggle from time to time. Now, I've got strong points and I've got weak points. I think my reading the chart is okay. I think it's above average, but my discipline can falter sometimes, and I struggle still with revenge trading from time to time. I absolutely do, but I'm trying to calm. You can hear me talk. I'm quite a wired person. I talk a lot. I do everything at 100 miles an hour, so I've had to try and learn to slow things down, because, we are who we are. Some people are a lot quieter, a lot calmer, and probably make better traders, but, I've had to learn to slow things down. So I spend 15 minutes now before the stream watching some of these trader affirmations, which, talk you through about, some calming music. I'm a disciplined trader. I sit and wait for, and I just try and focus on just waiting for a good setup. I've took dozens and dozens and dozens of half decent NAF setups over the last 6 months since I've been streaming, and I'm slowly learning it just doesn't work. And when you just mess up and lose trades, eventually you start to learn it's just the only way this works. And it's simple when you think about it. Wait for a proper setup, take the trade, commit, and then move on. That's it. It's nothing more complicated than that. But doing it with the human psychological side that we have, you can't do anything in life without it affecting you, psychological to a degree. That's what adds that little sort of red herring, which makes things a bit more difficult. Do you religiously start trading at 2:30? It depends. Sometimes I'll trade maybe an hour earlier. Sometimes I'll just browse the market 30 minutes earlier. But to be honest with you, market opened here. So this is all night. Well, it's all night for me in the UK. So it's like watching paint dry. So I would avoid this. The trouble is, if you get into a trade here, it could take you 20 minutes to get out of it. And I like to be in and out of trades pretty quick. There's nothing worse than being in a trade for half an hour or an hour. You start to ask yourself doubtful questions. So I would stick to the market hours personally, or maybe sit there 30 minutes before, do a bit of breathing, learn to relax a bit, settle. MK, lads, you're a great guy. I've learned a lot from you. I've been struggling with FOMO. Yeah, mate. Don't feel bad about that. It's because it's a normal human response that we do when things go wrong. And let's face it, what's one of the worst things that can happen to you in life? Losing money or somebody takes something away. But I'm not a great trader. This is just a normal guy learning to trade. And, you see me good days and you see me bad days. And I'm no different from you guys. I feel exactly the same. I have days where I literally feel like I always got tears to my eyes where things have gone that wrong. It's disbelief. But those days now are slowly getting less and less. So I feel like I'm now starting to gain a little bit of control. But it is hard. Don't think it's easy. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it and earning a fortune. But what I like is when I can do it and I start earning some money. That's a massive sense of achievement for me. Anybody that's a consistent trader has my respect, because I know how hard it is and I know how much they've had to commit and how much shit they've had to take to finally get to the stage where they're making money. So it is tough, but it's doable. Now, I never went to university. I never worked towards a professional. Never worked towards a degree or a professional job where people commit 5 years of study and work hard. I never did that. But this is my way of going back and learning something to better my life, a career where I work. I mean, how many jobs you work 3 hours a day? It's a blessing in disguise to a degree, this job. You can stay at home, I had a business years ago. Most business, you need a vehicle, you need tools, you need insurances, you need everything. You don't with this. It's just a computer. Everyone's got a computer and everyone's hooked up to the internet. So I just, when I was driving HGVs, I was getting up sometimes at 2:30 in the morning. I was going out, defrosting the car, freezing cold morning, starting at 4 o'clock in the morning and spending 13, 14 hours driving a truck. It's horrible getting out that time of the morning. Defrosting the car, freezing your nuts off. Sod that. I've spent years doing that sort of stuff and I've had enough of it. I want a little bit of an easier life. Something where I've got more time for me and more time for me and my family. I can earn better money. Go on more holidays. And I decided to commit. And I've not stopped committing. I get a bit obsessive, which I don't think is a bad thing when it comes to trading. I think sometimes you need it. It's better to be, the type of person that will just keep putting in loads of hours and hours. But it's doable for sure, yeah. True, man. That sucks to be in a trade. Yeah, there's nothing worse being stuck in a trade. It's horrible. I believe that feathers out over time, and if you're consistent in making money every month for the last 2 years, then you'll probably get into a trade and let it run, and that'll be the end of it. But curious, what size screen do you use for trading? Well, I had 4 24-inch screens. I punched one of them, I threw it out the window. maybe 7 or 8 months ago. So I had 3 then. So 24 inch, and I've just recently, when I started using Bookmap, bought myself a 27 inch screen, which is a little bit bigger. So yeah, 24 inch. I think 24 inch is fine, but I personally wouldn't go small unless you're young and you've got great eyesight. I'm 53 now. I'm starting to suffer slightly with eyesight, as we all do when we get a bit older, but I think 24 inch and above is great. I love your monitor, sorry. I'm guessing that's why traders have lots of monitors. To be honest with you, in the 2.5 years I've been trading, it's the only thing I've broke. And everything else is in working order. But we all do stupid things sometimes. I was just absolutely frustrated with myself for blowing another account. I didn't have it long. My PA accounts, excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Where were we? Should have been close to being there. Yeah. Well, sometimes it happens. I mean, I hadn't had my account. Let me think. The first pay account I had, I think, I didn't have anything longer than 3 days, but most of them were blown pretty quick because the emotions are just too strong. You take something bad and then you just want to get it back, and yeah, none of my... I'd say probably I'm on about 20 at the moment. I think probably my 8th or 9th one, I managed to get close to 2,600. The one when I started streaming, I managed to get up to $7,500. I took a $2,000 payment, and then I had the idea that I've cracked it now. I'm on my way. I now know what I'm doing. I remember saying to my wife, it's not now if I can do it, I am doing it. And I got super confident. And one day, market came up to here. I hadn't been trading on it, came up there, bearish bar, and I took it. Ticked, stopped me out. And it went a bit higher. I thought, okay, we've had a breakout. Ticked, stopped me out. So I'd lost $600 in the space of about 3 minutes. And I hadn't lost that much in a day. I'd had a really good run. And to cut a long story short, instead of finishing on those 2 trades, I carried on and lost about $2,300 in a day. And that had such a psychological effect on me. I was doomed. I just never recovered. I think I lost $1,700 the following day, and it was just downhill from there. But it's going to happen. You are going to do that. You are going to blow accounts. Expect to blow accounts. Don't beat yourself up when you blow accounts. It's a normal human response. You've had your money taken away. You're gutted. You feel sick. You can feel your hair stand on end. You feel dizzy and weird. And we do stupid things. There is a girl I used to follow. She's a trading performance coach. Deals in psychology. I forget what she calls it. It's a natural response. You know, it's like fight or flight. We've all been in punch-up sometimes in our life, haven't we? Well, have you noticed you don't really feel much pain? Everything's numbed out. You don't think about the consequences. You don't think about keeping your hands by your face and taking one careful punch at a time. You just start swinging, and you get that fight or flight. You panic. And all the rules and all consequences go out the window, and that's exactly what happens with trading. It's almost like someone else is in the driving seat, and before you know it, your money's gone, and half an hour later, you're in shock, wondering what the hell happened. It's because we're not used to dealing with strong emotions. Okay, there's a little channel down here. We've had a break. We haven't had a new low yet, but there is a bearish bar. But I'm going to sit tight a minute. Excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. Okay. Where was I? I think that's a little bit risky at the moment. I'd have preferred to wait for that to break. It depends how strong that is. There's some liquidity at 92, but I would prefer a break and a new low. I think that's a bit risky, personally. It's a little trend chart. We've had a break. I expect a new low. So if you took that one, I think you may get stopped out. Hopefully you won't, but better below plate accounts than 3. Yeah, I lost, I think, about $4,000 of my own money when I started. In fact, I was trading for a month. We seemed to get really nice trends, and I was winning trades, and I thought, this is a doddle. So I remember driving to work on a Friday. I got to the petrol station, got myself a cup of coffee, and I thought, sod it, I'm going to be a trader. This is easy. And I remember phoning my boss and saying, I ain't coming into work. I'm jacking it in. I'm going to be a trader. And that was it. So I drove 20 miles home and said to my wife, right, I'm sticking $5,000 in the bank. This is a doddle, and I'm going to make us a ton of money. And after about 2 weeks, it had all gone. And I was in a state of shock. And that was after being trading this for a month. I thought it was easy. Christ, how wrong was I? Yeah, I remember I'd had winning trade after winning trade. As soon as I put money on there, I lost the first trade, and all of a sudden I had this horrible, sickening feeling that I may have made a big mistake. It just goes to show, though, it's a lot harder than you think. But if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, wouldn't they? Making a ton of money. Okay, some strong liquidity at 85, which is down here. So I'm going to bring that there. Pop that there because we may have a leg, and a leg, it might go up, but I think we've got a leg, we've got a break, we've got 2 attempts to go high. I think we'll have a second leg down personally, but I hope I'm wrong. Thank God we have prop. Oh God, yeah. I mean, what would you do without prop firms? You'd be buggered in a way. You know, I mean, to have 10 accounts and $200 a day, $2,000 a day. Think of the pot of money you'd have to have of your own to be able to make that sort of money. You couldn't do it. So yeah, I've lost a bit. Yeah, I had a bit of a bad start. I came into crypto. I think Bitcoin was at its highest. I read about this Saitama, and I put about $600 into Saitama. It's worth about 15 now. But at one point it went up to $2,000, and I was so tempted to cash it, and I left it, and we hit the bear market, and it's come down and down. I have a look once in a while. It's worth $15. It's not even worth drawing it out. Okay, so we made 2 attempts to go lower. Is that a higher low? I don't like that doji. This push, we had a break. Try go low once, try go low twice. I'm staying out. I am. It's not something I don't like about it. I think it'll work. It's getting a bit slow, a little bit sideways. I don't like getting these trades like this. I much prefer them. No, I'm staying out. Yeah, good thing about crypto as well. Solana broke me. I'll tell you what, I bought Solana at $147, and I thought, oh God, bargain. What is it, about $19.5, $20 now? But one thing I will say is, as price comes down, if you've got Solana at $200, if you buy a load of Solana at $20, you'll bring that top price down, dollar cost average, and they call it. As it's coming down, if you buy, you bring your average price down. But I've got an order for 30 Solana at $18. So I expect crypto to come down, yeah. So if I'd have taken that one, that hadn't triggered anyway, but that was the worrying trade for me, and that to me looks like it's going to stop that out. 1 leg down, 2 pushes up, another leg down. Yeah, I mean, you can make a lot of money in crypto. It's not unusual for a coin to 10x, but you've got to buy them at the right time. And unfortunately, I started getting into crypto before I understood what bull markets and bear markets were. But that's, I don't know, it's part of the experience, isn't it? So hopefully we're due a bull market. Some people say we're still in a bull market. I don't know how they predict these things, but you know, you'd expect Solana. I mean, even if what's Solana $19.50 now, if it gets back to all-time highs, it'll 15x, 15 times. You put 1,000 in there now, 15,000 just to get back to all-time highs. So I'm certainly slowly buying bits. Okay, so try to go on. So hopefully, I expect this to come down now. There's going to be some longs in there, no doubt. There may be some longs in here if that triggers, but I think it's coming down, and I think them longs are going to get stopped out. I hope I'm wrong, but it has tried to go lower twice, so maybe it'll work, but it's not a trade for me. There is some liquidity at 92, but there's also some at 85 down here, so that would almost give us a measured move. Yeah, look at that. Exactly where that liquidity is, so I hope it goes up for anybody's sake who's in that trade. But for me, it's just a bit risky. I got in really high. That cost me a lot. Yeah, trouble is, you never lose money until you sell them. So you still own those. So when they eventually goes back up, you'll get your money back. But if you buy more, as the price comes down, you bring that average price. If you buy 10 at $200 and you buy 10 at $20, your average price will be in the middle. So yeah, that's coming down for me. It's closed below the EMA. So once it gets below there, it'll stop out any long. So one leg, two leg. Excuse me a minute. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Yeah, some buy orders down here. So leg down, leg down. If you took that one, I'm convinced it's going to get stopped out, unfortunately. But it is a trade that you would probably take. I've taken them myself many times, but the fact that we've had this small channel and we haven't had a new low, and there is still area to the bottom of this channel, makes it a little bit concerning for me. Yeah, and that's the trouble with crypto. You can make a lot of money, but you can lose it as well. But you haven't lost it until you've sold it. So the fact you've still got it. But yeah, if you just, as price comes down or as it's come down, just keep buying a bit more and you'll bring that average price back. So if you bought 10 at $200 and you bought 10 at $20, the average price they've cost you is $100. So you can bring that average price by buying more when they're low. Okay, so I got one strike twice. If this comes down, failure. Now I don't want to take a short there because we're clearly trending up, and I don't count a trend trade, but I would say it's likely going to come down here. But some may take that if you scalp a point, but we're at the bottom here, so I expect that to make a point, but don't want to count a trend trade. So there's your point. Well, no, actually, it's probably here, isn't it? So we had this push down, try go once, try twice, came back down, try go once, try go twice, failure. It hasn't triggered yet, but I expect it to come down at least to the bottom here, probably this measured move. There is some shorts around about the 89, which is here, which I think will push that down a bit. And there's some at 92, which I think is going to get taken as we go back up. But I expect that to make a point. I'm not taking a trade there because it's counter trend trade anyway. We're clearly moving up at the moment. But fortunately, at the moment, I seem to have an abundance of patience, which is unusual for me. But it looks like a leg down, 2 attempts to go higher and another leg down. So I fully expect it to come down to here, certainly have a bit of a break anyway. So that failure's triggered. So whether you'll get a load of, it hasn't, it has, yeah. So whether you'll get a load of buy orders pushing it up now, it's possible. I don't think so. I still expect it to come down. There is liquidity at 85 down here, which oddly enough, people will put their buy orders, see they'll go leg down, leg down. Let's put a buy order down here because it'd be a natural place to go long. We've had a break out of it, 2 legs down, measured move. Okay, so it pushed down quickly. Touch just broke below the bottom of the range. Let's have a look what's there now. Still that liquidity there. I think it'll come down still. It had that little quick push, didn't it? Because there have been some sell order. I mean, it was a second entry long and it was a break, and there'd have been a lot of people take that, and there'd have been some stops there. Hence that little push down, just eating through some stops. But that'll almost definitely make your point. Okay, so you'd have scalped a point off that failure. But I have a rule, really. I generally don't take counter trend trades. But if you were scalping a point, that would have worked. Leg down, break leg. And the fact that there had been some shorts there gave it that little bit of extra momentum. So 85 down here, so it may not come down. It depends. If we end up bullish here, sat on here, that there may be some aggressive buyers and who start to push it up. But for me, I think the safest bet is here. We'll see. If it's nice and bullish above the EMA, then people might jump in there and just randomly buy it. Because you can adjust this slightly, ever so slightly. A small adjustment down here makes a large adjustment down there, really. Touch perfectly fine there, close enough there, sitting beautifully there. So it's not as bullish as I'd expect to get me in. Let me have a look. There is some aggressive buyers pushing up. But yeah, there is. But for me, I don't think we're ready to go up yet. There is some shorts just under 290, which is here. So there is some there, so it may go up a bit. Okay, some shorts, or some sells at 42.91. So it is possible it could go a little bit sideways there. Funnily enough, touch there, touches there. It may go a little bit sideways. The reason being is because there is this, although it's fading off that a little bit, there's some at 91, which is almost at the top of this. So we've got one leg up, 2 legs up, 1 leg down, 2 legs down, 1 leg up. So it may go a bit sideways here, I don't know, but I see what happens. So there's strong liquidity at 92, which is here. And it's strong at 300, which is further up here. So for me, we're clearly getting slowly drawn up. We do seem to be getting some nice trending days, I've got to say. Interesting. Okay, once, twice, 3 times. You could call this a triple test. The bit I'm concerned with is just this measured leg hasn't played out. Now, it might not because we're in a channel, but I would prefer not to take this one anyway, just in case. Okay, that liquidity is stronger now here. 96 and a quarter. So you may be saying if we push down here and hit this level, I'm going to buy. So clearly trading up. So you're clearly looking for long trades. So maybe as if you're going to go long, we'll go, oh, let's wait for it to break out here first and I'll pick it up as low as I can. So that would make sense why there's orders there. In fact, those orders have changed a little bit. They're here now, so... Yeah, you can't argue with that channel, can you? It's fitting beautifully along there. Look where that's just finished. There's no argument there. Uh, 85 and 86, so there's 2 lots just below this measured move and just above it. 225 at 86 and a quarter, which is there. Out there. And some 85, which is there. So I personally think leg, break, leg. We're going to have 2 legs down here. You may have taken that. But I think if it breaks below there, it's going to get to this measured move, I think. $85 is that lowest lump of liquidity there. So if it picks up, okay, so it's just clearly hit that that bit there and the measured move. 86, yeah. Very tempted to take a trade here.
Order submitted.
Because we're fading the range.
Order filled.
Just going to go for 2 points back to the email, I think. 6.25, 65, 75. All right. Purely because it's picked this liquidity up. that measured legs played out, and that's why I'm interested. Looks like it may get us, which is a damn shame. If it does, if it holds, I think we'll be all right. But so we need strong buyers now. So it's clearly one leg, one leg. Not only that, it's fading the range. That two legs of, we've clearly had two legs down, so you'd expect to push up. We've had a break. So I think the trade's okay, personally. Now I'm getting a bit nervous. Sometimes you're just going to have confidence and just stay in the trade and go with it. Okay, so we've had another break lower. We'll see. I'm going to give that an extra tick, see if it helps me out. Sometimes it does.
Stop filled.
Okay. I'm surprised that happened, actually. I'm really surprised. Oh, well. We had a perfect measured leg after this channel, but there you go. Sometimes it doesn't work. Now, I was tempted to stay out of that trade purely and simply because I was $200 up, but if I see a good setup, I still think it's worth it. So for me, we'd had a leg and a leg, and we'd faded the range, so I think it was okay. Why did you take that one? I took it because we're in an uptrend. We had one leg down, two legs down. It was a perfect measured move. I faded the range, and it was a bullish bar, so I'm seeing 2 bars ahead of you. Yeah, you will do, because I'm a little bit behind here, so that's a shame, but there you go, it happens. Make sure everything's closed. I think it has. It was a perfect measured leg. We're clearly uptrending. What I probably should have done is wait for the higher low, but there we go. But we had a perfect measured leg, so there we go. Now there is some liquidity. We'd hit that liquidity, so I thought that's it. We're going to pick up some buy orders, and up we go. But there you go. It's going south now. Yeah, measured move. Well, that's what I mean. We had a measured move. We're clearly trending up. One leg down, two legs down. Perfect measured move. Nice big bullish bar. I thought that was the way up. Normally, something like that would be a good trade, really. Fade the breakout. We're clearly going sideways. You fade the breakout. But there you go. Sometimes things don't work. So, touch this midline. Let's see what's going on now. Must be the news. There's no news on my chart. Let's have a look. I thought that was a good trade. I'll be surprised if some don't take that trade. Let's have a look what's going on now. So, hmm. 79 strong, so short and trend channel break. Yeah, see, that's a nice channel for me. It's trending up nice. We've clearly gone above this area. One leg down, sideways, another down. Perfect measured leg. A breakout to fade that range. I thought that was a good one. I have an overshoot max channel. The trouble is, I see what you mean. Yeah, that might have been why. I missed that. That's why, an overshoot. So, see if we can get 2 legs up here. Yeah, overshoot. I missed that. Darn. Okay. Oh well. It happens. You're not going to get it right all the time. Right. See if we can get it back. So channel break. Yeah, I missed the overshoot. Touching there. I missed that. But that's okay. I don't mind it when that happens because it just reminds me to keep an eye out for the overshoot. So what's going to happen now? We're going to try and make a new eye or what? I don't mind losing trades as long as I learn something. And I've learnt there that I'm going to keep an eye on the overshoot. Yeah, there's no news at the moment. It is because of the overshoot. Touch there. It's working perfectly on there. A bit of an overshoot. In a lot of cases, that could lead to a reversal. So whether we're going to start coming down now or we may still push up and make a new height, it depends. Yeah, in all fairness, a lot of times I'll wait for a higher low, a lower high, which we didn't get, so that would have kept me off that trade. But it's all right. It's all about learning. We make mistakes. I'm okay with it. Let's have a look. Okay, short-term trend channel break new high. Are we going up or are we going down? That's the thing. I've got a nice wider chart from the peak. I don't think it is. No. There's the channel there. That won't work. No. What about channel there? No. That's too wide, that is. Uh, 89. Now, now is this a reversal or are we going to push up again and work higher? No, that's definitely a channel there. This is just a break because of the overshoot, touching a bunch of times there, touching there. It's just a break because of the overshoot, that is. So, but it is strong here. Got to be careful here. Triangle once, triangle twice. Possible failure. It's hard to say. That channel could be just one little channel, in which case we had to break a new high, or it might be a slightly bigger channel, which we've had a break and we're looking for a new high. Because of that overshoot, it could come down. But I have a theory that one leg down, two legs, made 2 attempts to go lower. I think we're going to push higher because there is a lot more liquidity higher up. I might be wrong. Okay, push up, triangle once, triangle twice. It's actually retesting higher here. One leg down to. I prefer one leg and 2 legs before we push higher. Second entry short there is. Trouble is we've had this push out. I prefer another one, make 2 attempts to go low before we think. And there's the failure there. I personally think that's going to get stopped out, which is why I'm not taking it. It is a failure, but I think it's risky because I think we're going to have leg and another leg. Now, if we get higher low, then I may be interested, but I'm not a fan of that. It's making me nervous. And if I get nervous, it's for a reason. See if we get a higher low or something. I prefer it to start moving again, really. Yeah, that's going to come down and take that out, I think. It gives us a higher low, I might be interested. Trouble is, sometimes it'll push like that and you'll think, oh, we're off and running. It'll suck you in. And then you'll think, oh, it hasn't come down. Maybe I'll get in. And then all of a sudden, down it comes. Trend working down. I knew it's possible. This bit's not making sense, though. I don't like this. I still think we're going higher. Now, this overshoot. Get a break. Usually we'll still get a new high, so... See if we can wait for a new high. It's easy to get sucked into here, and then it has leg, break, leg, and then pushes up. Doji. Sometimes these can suck you in up a little bit more. You get in the trade, and all of a sudden, wham. And there you go. It's got danger written all over that. Leg. Okay, you can call that a second entry. Bigger channel going down. So that's going to suck in a load of longs and then tank down, is it? Let's have a look. There's a big channel going down and we are congested right now. Some liquidity at 89. I can't remember. Remind us, mate. Given yesterday, remind us. Still strong liquidity up here. Yeah, simple answer is if you don't know where the market's going, just stay out of it. I'm not sure at the moment either. We've had a break, but there's a small overshoot, so we may come down, but we also may make a new high. There is still some liquidity up here. Personally, to me, it does look like it's starting to push higher. SPY is bullish, yeah. I'm just being a bit careful. Nasdaq is also above given critical level. Just follow stop loss and sit for. So you're thinking long, are you, Sanya? It has bounced on top of this channel a couple of times, hasn't it? Can you put a sound on bar timer? I sometimes trade higher time frames. Oh, I'm not too sure, mate. They do have sounds. I think they're probably something you could do, yeah. It's got a bullish feel to me, this has. It is a bit clear though, so I'm staying out of it for the time being. I still think we're going higher. Trouble is the liquidity is up here and then it feathers out. And there's not much room really, is there? Does look like we're pushing high, doesn't it? One leg. Couple of attempts to go low and another leg. Just not getting involved at the moment. It's still unclear. He might jump in there. There's going to be some longs there. There's going to be some longs there. So it might just drop and take everything out. Let's see what's going on here. Does look like we're continuing to push higher. Let's just get rid of that now. Yeah, it is, Sam. Yeah, it really does help you. That strong liquidity has just been hit. After more at 92. So that did work there. I did look at that, but I don't know. When you read comments like there's a bigger channel, I didn't think there was a bigger channel low. We've just had a push down and a slightly bigger push down, push up, leg and leg daddies. That's what I expect. If we can get another pullback or something, then. Bull flag was at 86 something here. I did look at that. It's just someone mentioned a bigger bearish. Is anybody else's bookmap gone all fuzzy, like there's not enough internet connection? Mine seems to have just gone really fuzzy all of a sudden. Everything else is working fine, but yeah, it's just gone fuzzy. Mine. I've just put something else on. It's working fine. That's all it. No, it's just bookmap. No, that's better. Strong at 92. If we can get a couple of legs back here. Well, I did that. I just changed the string quality back to yeah, it's all right now. It's cleared up now. Strong at 92, strong at 95, strong at 300. So 92 is here. Strong at 95 is there. 300 is there. So for me, I'd say if we can, it's slowly pulling us up. Get a pull down here. Around about the 80s, yeah. Come on. Too cloudy, but I might try this guy's bookmap is a bit clearer, yeah. Unfortunately, just too risky to take that. It's too far from the EMA for my liking. Hopefully, there's a new high there after that one. That's ticked above it. Might get another leg down here. Give us another leg. Come on. Shorter than 91. Triple top. 91. It's hard to say what it's going to do. I'm hoping it does come down here again and gives us a second entry long. The trouble is, it might just keep pushing up from there. It's hard to say. It's gone fuzzy again. Oh, right. Okay. Okay. For some reason, it's just gone down to 144. Okay, we're all good here. 92 is still the highest at the moment that I can see. Then there is some at 95, some at 300. For me, we've got to push down to here, really. Okay, if we can get a drop down here somewhere and then a bullish bar, I'm interested then. Just wondering whether this is going to be a spiking channel. The reason being, it's already touched this side of the channel where I had it. So I think it's going to continue sideways a bit more until it drops here. So I think that is more of a spiking channel personally. Touching nice there, which means I think it'll continue sideways a bit until we drop down here. That night, oh crikey, that's pushed strong up strong. Okay. Unfortunately, there's just no setup, and the fact that it's turned there makes me think that it is a spiking channel. We haven't made a new high yet. Oh, we have. Okay, so we have made a new high. Unfortunately, there's just nothing really to go along there. Okay. Excuse me. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, so next lump of liquidity is at 95, which is here. So get down here somewhere. Measured leg played out beautifully. And the new high. So yeah, someone mentioned a bigger channel. Yeah, I don't know what that is. No, it's just way too big. That is. No, that's not right. 100%. Now you need a new high from the spiking channel. We haven't had a break from it, have we? How you doing, Kay? Liquidity is strong up here, so I mean that's fitting nice there. If it's touch there, touch there, touch there. If we can get down here, maybe a bit lower and a push up. Possible hidden second entry long. 95 is the next lump of liquidity, so I'd expect to push up. Just the way I'm looking at Bookmap now, it's slowly manipulating it up this level. So there is some liquidity at around about 88, 42.88, which is here. So Well, that's drying up a bit now. Hopefully if we can break above that one and then have another leg down. Looking bearish for some reason, you think so? No, I can't see that. We've had a push up. It looks like a couple of legs of correction, really, whether it's just a break and a new high. Kind of loss, yeah. I mean, what I can see at the moment, we're clearly in this channel now. If we can make a couple of legs down, one leg, two leg, or a second entry long, then I'd be interested in going long again, purely and simply because the liquidity is moving up. There's not much below 88. The strong levels are 95 and 300. I would be looking for a short now, would you? See if this spike and channel is right. Touch, 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 touch. I still think we got higher to go, but that's only... I'm not sure, I just woke up. Just what I'm seeing on Bookmap, the strong liquidity is here and here. So, I don't know. Not sure. That measured leg has played out. Oh, I got you. I got you. Strong liquidity is 89, which is about there. Okay. Excuse me, there's some boulders that's just hit there, so let's see if we push up. That's why I've got rid of it, mate. Got to go to the job. Okay, see you later, guy. Ta-ra, mate. See you, okay. It's hard. There is a second entry long there. I just find it hard to go short at the moment because I don't know what's going on at the moment. He's still got that strong liquidity up there. Okay, there's a failure there. Before taking trade, always check chart on different time frame, like weekly, hourly. This will help correct direction. Yeah, I know some of our guys use the 5 minute. Yeah, I think because I trade the 2000 tick, I believe it's close to the 5 minute. See, we've had a break out of this channel, haven't we? Are we going down now? Do you think leg? Hard to say. What I will say is there'll be some longs there and there'll be some longs there. So there's certainly some long stops to get sucked up. And there's some longs there. Oh, I'm so tempted to go short here. No, I just can't at the moment. It doesn't feel right. Because there is strong liquidity up here. I don't know. One more test of the EMA. Yeah, what I can see though, there's going to be some longs there. And probably there as well, and maybe still there. That trend channel, we've had a break and we've had a new high. But there is some strong liquidity up here, so whether we're going to continue up, I don't know. It's hard to say at the moment. I'm not sure whether we're going up or down. Well, if there's not much in the way of buy orders, it'll drift towards liquidity, won't it? And it is showing orders at 94, which funnily enough is at the top here. Not as much. The stronger stuff's up here. There is orders down here, but not a lot. I saw the failure, but it's just I prefer them closer to the EMA, and I'm still not convinced we're going down yet because that liquidity's up here. And if I'm not sure, use the EMA cross 920. Oh yeah, see, we don't use those. That's the thing. There is liquidity 8 down here, but the stronger stuff's up here, and usually it'll work towards a liquidity, but you've got to take into consideration aggressive sellers and buyers as well. Yeah, the balls are just little areas of buys and sells, but you can see the liquidity at 42.95, can't you, up here? And if you look to the right where there's a compressed version, there's a bigger lump of liquidity, so it generally drifts towards liquidity. But you've obviously got that top right where it says sellers and buyers. You've got aggressive buyers and sellers, which obviously it can't predict. Okay, so that's broke below there. See, I'm still not a fan of going short just at the moment. Yeah, so there is a failure there. I just don't like it though. I don't think we're finished going up yet, personally. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know. I think that's right, personally. Let me have a look. Well, I don't know. It might be a spike in channel with touch. It's going to be making higher highs. So, yeah, it might be reversal. I don't know. It's not going down comfortably enough for me to think it's going down. What I will say is there's probably longs there. There'll be some longs there and probably down here. So if it does manage to push, it might come down rapidly. But it's clearly congested here at the moment. Now that might not be right, but I don't know whether to put it or not. It's hard to say. We've all got to make our own judgments. Looks like a spiking channel. Touch a couple of times there. Touch. Nice along the back. I don't know. I don't know whether we're going up or down at the moment. But I just don't think we've finished to the upside yet. I think there's more to come. See if there's anything bigger there I'm missing. Nah. Yeah, it could be. I mean, a leg up, leg down, leg down. The bit that's excuse me, making me conflicted is all this liquidity up here. Now, it could not get there. But what I will say is we see this pattern a lot down. It's like a bear flag, isn't it? And if it gets below things like this and this, it'll eat some long stops. I think we're going lower. Yeah, you might be right. So if it's a strong trending day and there is a lot of liquidity up here and not much in the way of buy or sell orders, it may slowly drag it up. That's what is making me uncertain about going short at the moment. I mean, it's clearly congested as shit anyway, so whatever happens, there's nothing you could do at the moment. But there is some sell orders, 89 and 89.5, so around here. So perhaps they're going, if we can pull back up here, then we'll go down some more. It's hard to say at the moment. To break up to the mirror, then fell. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, it could be a leg down and another leg down, in which case it might get a nice push down. We need to get back up and have another go. Okay, so there's a new low. Maybe a second entry short off there might be the order of the day. If we can get a push above there and then another failure. So let's get an order ready, just in
Order
case.
submitted.
Second entry short. I prefer to push it up and then fail. Yeah, maybe that isn't valid. Let's remove it. It needs to push up strongly for me and hopefully hit 89. Pick up some more shorts. Failed breakout short. Yeah, I can definitely see that we've had a break of that and we've had a perfect measured leg up to a new higher. I get that. The bit that's conflicted is all this strong liquidity. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get there, but if there's more buyers and not enough shorts here, it might continue up, but we'll see. It's going to have to be, if you can get a decent setup there, and you can clearly see it's a decent setup there, then I might go short, but at the moment, it's a bit half-hearted, that is. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's going to have to push up here, ideally the same height as that. I mean, to be honest with you, second entry short, but I just don't like the way it's done that. It needs to be stronger for me. But if we do manage to push out here, then I think there's a, see, that's so tempting, but I just think it's risky. It's not pushed enough through the EMA for my liking. Now, I hope it does come currying down, but needs to get down below there. Okay, I think that's a better one, actually. Right, it's a bit risky, but there we go. It's broke below there, so it's not the best bar, but I think it's good enough. I'll give that an extra tick. It's making me nervous now. It's pretty bearish, isn't it? And it's broken out. See what happens. I'm getting a bad feeling. We'll see. Needs to get below this area here, really, I think. I got in lower than I wanted. 3-point risk. I didn't really want to risk that much. We get below here, I think we may be okay. We need some aggressive sellers now, which we're starting to get. So, one leg down, two legs down. I hope so. Come on, get some aggressive sellers in there. It's not pushing down enough, strong enough for my liking, in all honesty. It needs to get down below these levels, and then I think we might get a decent push down. That worried me. Well, I think I'm out of the game here. I'll give it an extra tick. That's as good as I can do. I'll give it an extra tick, see if it makes a difference, but I don't know if it will. It's going to take me.
Filled.
Yeah, that's a shame. It was about the best looking bar there, one leg down. So,
Order cancelled.
Let's have a look. Let's see what this one's like. It got me for an extra tick. Okay, now that's looking more interesting.
Order submitted.
See if that finishes bearish. Now that one I like. This will be the last trade of the day for
Order
me.
filled.
Don't be a donator. I mean, it clearly looks like it's coming down one leg, two leg. Don't go short. Too late, mate. Okay, break even. Best I can do. Come on, get down. Tank. Come on. Come on. I've gone break even anyway. That's about as bearish as you can get there. Come on. Come on.
stop filled.
Okay. I'm out for break even. It's just got short written all over it, that has. It's a bear flag. I like the trade. I got to say, I like the trade. Well, that would have been the last trade. I like it. It's going to drop now, isn't it? It's going to drop. One leg down, two legs down. Oh, dear. What's going on now? There's a lower high there. I think that's okay, personally. I think we're coming down, making a measured leg. Last trade of the day
Order
for sure.
submitted. Order cancelled.
I'm nearly done, to be fair, anyway. So I come out for break even. I still think that's okay. It's slowly working down. I still like the trade. It's a bear flag, isn't it? Of the range. It's not so much that I want to go short. It just looks like we've got a leg down. This is played out, hasn't it? We've had a break. New high, so we've got a leg down. More like a bear flag, you know what I mean? That was the one I chose. Yeah, I can't remember about that far. Yeah, it's clearly congested anyway, isn't it? No argument there. Well, no. I mean, well, a few people have said short. For me, we've had a push up, we've had a break, we've made a new high, we've had a leg down, and it's like a bear flag, isn't it? So I'd say I think it's likely we're going to make a leg down. I thought up still because of the liquidity, but there's been quite a few people thinking about that and mentioning short. So that's why I've got to start thinking short. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. It's been naff lately, isn't it? Yeah, this has just got bear flag written on it. Push down slowly, getting lower and lower and lower, and then drop. Well, I know what you're saying, but usually that bear flag, it'll come down and it'll go sideways until we get a decent looking bar, bearish bar. And for me, that's the best one. That's why I went short below it. And usually it'll continue maybe a bit sideways, but eventually it'll work down. So I still think the trade was good. Sometimes they just take a bit of time. But I think leg down. It's a bear flag. We're clearly going sideways, but with a downwards angle. Strong liquidity at 82. I'd say we're going to make another leg down. I might be wrong. I was hoping to get below here. NQ dropping. Yeah. Leg. Bear flag. It's too late now anyway. Sometimes I wish I'd just have the confidence to stay into them. It's got bearish written all over there. Bear flag. It is sideways, but it's slowly going down. And at some point, it'll drop. 82 is the liquidity, so I expected to push down to here. Once we get below here, we'll be golden. Yeah, see, sometimes I wish I'd just leave me trades. That's where I'd have had me stop anyway. Oh, me take profit. It's a bear flag, isn't it? Push down, sideways, but at a downwards angle. Oh, that's frustrating. I should have just left it. Trouble is, what did JJ put? Please don't go short. So straight away you read that and it gets in your head and you think, oh, damn, so I come out break even. Leg down. We've clearly played out this range, so we had a leg down, and it's slowly working down, isn't it? Usually until we get a decent bull bar, a bear bar, which was there, and then eventually they work down. Sometimes they just take a bit of time, but the trouble is, you read something, you sort of can't unread it then. But what was there? There's 4 points there, but oh well. You're taking profit, are you? 4279. Well, you haven't hit it yet. Yeah, sometimes I just need to commit and just leave it. That clearly played out, see. Liquidity at 280 down here. Trouble is, it'll go sideways like that until it gets to a decent signal bar. Yeah. A little bit more there, I'd have gone to around about there. I'd have still been in this, to be fair. You took 3 points there. I'd have been out now. I'd have gone out a tip before there. Well. Oh, well. I think I'm done for the day, actually. I'm down, what am I down? $400, which is not terrible, actually. I've got to get used to the odd time being down, but it happens, doesn't it? If I'd have left that, I'd have been back to where I was now, which is a bit frustrating. Yeah, I'd come out there near the midline, 4.75, so I'd have been up a bit. It's frustrating. I just need to focus on what feels right. So where are we coming down to now? That's the trouble. Sometimes you read comments and you sort of, you doubt yourself, do you know what I mean? But going to give you a call on the way to work if you're around. Going to be having tea in a bit, mate. Give me a call just before trading tomorrow if you can, and we'll have a chat then. Yeah. I'm going to be sat having tea soon, bud. Well, I've got to cook it. We've got beef bourguignon, so I've got to warm it up and do the mash in that. So, what I run an idea. Give me a bell before trading tomorrow, bud. We'll have a chat then. Yeah, I'd have been out now. Ooh, that's frustrating. See, that had made out. Leg break, leg, perfect measured leg, one leg down, bear flag, and then look at that. Oh, it's frustrating. How do you not draw tools? How did you got tools on your left? Those there. They come with Ninja Trader, those do, bud, but the ones up here are from Max. So, I'm so frustrated about that. I very nearly got back into it. I need to just trust myself. Leg down, bear flag, leg down. Oh, well. You should just trust your trades. Yeah. Trouble is, and I get why people do comments, people, if they think, we all think a different way. People sort of have the comments, and that's fair enough, because it might have gone against me, and then I'd have been going, cheers, mate, then. So it's just one of those things. It happens. Sorry, that's quite... Yeah, it happens, mate. But I say that all the time, and we see this so many times, a push down and then a bear flag where it goes sideways but an angle, and it usually does it until we get a decent looking signal bar, and for me that was the one. And then eventually it dropped. But it is frustrating when you've got all your money back, but there you go. Now they're strong down here now, so whether we're going to continue down or not, it's hard to say. But best thing for me, I always tend to struggle when I'm down a little bit. I find it hard not to come back sometimes, and most of the time it doesn't go well. So this time I am just going to quit down now. My account's still okay. It's still at $4,000, so it's still fine. Tomorrow's another day. I should have waited. Note to self, when we have a break like that, wait for a higher low. That way it'll stop me losing that trade. And next time I'm in a trade, just commit. That would have been okay. Well, I'm going to pour a whiskey now, do the lawn. Yeah, I'm going to have me dinner now. I cooked beef bourguignon earlier. So I've just got to do the mash. So I'm surprised I've not got any messages saying we're hungry. So that's it today, folks. That's me done for today. I appreciate all your comments. Don't forget the 80% is still on. I had some more yesterday. Some people took some of the $25,000 ones. So if that was you, you have used it or you do use it, it is much appreciated. So that's me done for the day. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Well, we will do it all again. So have a great evening. Stay safe. Nick, you give me a ring tomorrow, bud, if you want, just before trading. And we'll have a natter. I might need a pep talk anyway. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. So have a great evening. Stay safe. And I will see you all tomorrow.